Okay, I 3D printed a new base for this overhead camera thing, which is really just a lamp stand. When I took apart the old one, I was like, wow, how did this piece of crap last this long? But we're good now. So I went to a new dentist, and they're next to a Mega Menards in Sun Prairie. So I was like, I should check out the Mega Menards to see if they have any electronic crap that my local Menards does not. And they didn't really have anything different, but I figured I should get something, because when I go to shows in real life, which I don't do as much as I used to, but when I do, people always bring up the Menards videos. So I feel bad that I don't make any, but they never have enough crap. Except for this, a $20 shaver. Now, Menards also sells real brand shavers in the food section, but look at this one. Look, it works in all terrain. So you could use this in the mountains or under an ocean. $20. So I guess the questions would be, how many 18650s does it have? Not if it uses them, how many it has. Probably just one. It might be two. Oh, is this thing going to be USB? No. Yeah, USB micro charger. Oh, I bet it is. That would be awful. One USB charging cable, one USB wall adapter. Apple doesn't even do that. Oh, it's for the environment. No, it's to make more money. It's the only kind of green they care about. Ooh. Oh. Well, hey, worst case, you get another wall wart. 5 volts, 1 amp. That's fairly unremarkable. And drum roll, please. And it's... Oh. it's I don't know what the... It's like a miniature version of like the PlayStation 2 connector. I know there's a name for it. I don't know what it is. See, that's kind of... Yeah, because like... I don't know where my shaver went. I misplaced it. My electric shaver. I think it might be at my mom's, like when I visited for Memorial Day. But it is a plug just like this, but it's AC plug. So what if you got this mixed up? That wouldn't be good, putting AC into this. Input 5 volts, 1 amp. Made in China. Does it have a charge? Oh, it's got a little screen. That's cool. Let's see, it's got an icon for lock, power, and exclamation point. What's the 100 mean? Oh, is that the charge level? All right. Does this thing have a thing that pops up and trims your beard? Is that what this is? Well, it sounds like a shaver. I like the fact that it has a power gauge on it. I mean, it seems to be working, not super great. I don't think this could be a daily driver. Oh, I'm down to 98% already. So it's going to have some sort of clutch in it. Oh, wow, look at that. Well, how do I remove this to get rid of all the ginger hair? Oh, I guess that's how. Well, I usually get like the 3-disc Norelco ones. I mean, this might be useful as like an emergency backup shaver. Like I could like leave it in my carry-on bag. Oh, it's actually got tabs. It comes apart like an Xbox controller. She's a bistro, but she handles like a steakhouse. We can hit that bullseye, the dominoes will fall like a house of cards. Checkmate. Screws? Those cost money. So that's what the people making the $20... Well, if it's $20 at Menards, that means it's like $3 in China. Anyway, yeah, that's the attitude. If, people making the $20 shavers or the, $1,500 iPads, just glue it together. Who needs screws? Right to repair. I don't think Louis Rossmann is even remotely black-pilled enough for the right to repair stuff. Anything with a Wi-Fi connection and a microcontroller can be turned into a dystopian subscription service. Anything. Oh, there's a fair bit of hardware in there. Oh, look, it's actually, is that actually like yellow? And put a blue filter on it? Oh no, it's white. Well, I like white better. They're like, oh, it's got to be blue. I remember, I think we all remember gazing in wonderment at the blue LED on the PlayStation 2. This is a momentous occasion in human history. And now, 24 years later, I'm so sick of blue LEDs. It's so obvious. You know what else I'm sick of is how they only make 3 colors of cars anymore. Yesterday I was like, I'm here to pick up the black Ford Escape, and it's like, which one? Henry Ford got his revenge in the end. He's like, ah ha 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 ha. Oh, is that 2 18650s? I would love a green car. That would be my ideal color. So if I ever like bought a new car and ordered a new car, which I never have, I would get a green one. I saw this Subaru when I was looking for a new car. It was like a 2011, which was older than I wanted, but it was a Texas car. It was clean as a preacher's sheets. And under the hood, it looked like a 1970s Jeep. It was just a big open space with all the parts laid out. It's like, if I ever became a car guy, this is the kind of car I would get. There is a microcontroller, but I'm sure it's a scratch-off special. So how's this clutch work? Oh, it's probably that right there. Oh, I see what happens. This gets engaged. Let's see. Yeah, and this just goes up. This just slides up and engages with it. Well, the thing is, this is like $20, and it's like, for $40 at the same Menards, you could just get a Norelco at probably over in the, well, yeah, it's like in the toothpaste section. Whereas this is in the as seen on TV section. Look how they labeled the power input. Data positive, data negative. I don't think that's how it works. The battery compartment is sealed with an O-ring. That's good. I mean, this isn't an okay thing. It's not bad. I zoomed in on the microcontroller. It's a scratch-off China special, so I have no idea what it is. I mean, it's probably just some little, like, 8-bit jobby. I'm guessing a good portion of the circuitry is probably just to drive the LED segments. Because, I mean, what does this do? It turns on and off. Well, I think they have a current sensor as well, because there's a motor jam sensor, which is what the exclamation point is. I guess I could try to... Man, that must have to be really jammed to go off. The motor must have to be completely locked up to trigger that. Oh, what if it's like nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium? Yeah, this is too small for 18650s. How do they go? Oh, it's even greased. Wow. Oh, that's not to seal. Oh, that's just to make a seal around this. So I'm guessing, my guess is that if I desolder these 2 data pins, that's probably what's holding this in place, and then the batteries will lift out with this. They're wires? I did not expect that. Oh no. Yeah, they are wires. Oh, gross. Now, an ICR 14500 is indeed a lithium-ion battery. So it would be in the same family as the 18650. So here's a Morty's mind blowers. So like an 18650 means 18 millimeters in diameter and 65 millimeters in length with a 0 on the end. So this one is 14 millimeters in diameter and 50 millimeters in length. Oh, like I said, a drain hole and where's some water? Is this a wet detector? No, I think it's just meant to act as a possible way for water to escape the chamber. Still, I mean, you know, it's not too bad for the price. I mean, is it really going to be that much different if you buy like a Norelco? I think for now I'm just going to put it back together because it does work, just not really that well. I do have some Menards crap that I still use, and it was back when they had the electronics section. It was like the $9 Bluetooth headphones. There's like these crappy hard plastic Bluetooth headphones. Oh, here, I'll insert a photo of them because they're out in the garage. Hey, you know what? They work, and they're perfectly fine for like mowing the lawn and listening to like music or something. And I don't have to worry about getting sweat in them like with my good noise canceling headphones. So hey, $9. It's great. I did have to fix the charging port though. The charging port broke. It snapped off inside, so I had to go in and like glue it and stuff. But hey, $9, come on. I don't like how this is just like the AC port on the one that I lost. I'm actually kind of impressed with the ease of disassembly of this. I thought it was going to be a sonically welded nightmare, but no, it just came right apart. Yeah, you know, not too bad. So yeah, that shaver wasn't too bad. Now this next one I think is going to be a bigger laugh. Bell & Howell. They used to make quality products. Now their name is on this crap. Bionic under cabinet light. And it's got micro ports on both ends for some reason. One of them has a IR bounce sensor. But I think this is going to be like false advertisement because like you see them flush under the cabinets there. And then, oh, they're by your tools. But then the back of it, there's this big black box of obfuscation. And see how they deliberately put black paper around it so you can't see? It's probably a big bulky power supply. And then in the fine print, operates on 4 AA batteries, not included, or 4 rechargeable batteries, not included. So AA batteries. I haven't made a video in a while, so Bud's probably like, why is the human talking to himself? It makes him so jealous. If I'm talking but not to him, including if there's like other humans around. Dwight, wouldn't you say the most worthy adversary of yourself is yourself? That would be correct, unless measles are present. See, even if they take The Office away from us on Netflix and stick it up in the princess castle that is Peacock, it still lives on. We can pass the traditions through our oral tradition. Like a bunch of like cavemen sitting around a campfire. And then he said unto her, that's what she said. And all the children, their eyes glowing in the firelight, are like, ooh. So basically it's the opening to Amazing Stories. All right. I just think it's funny because I just like last weekend I got my dad's Bell & Howell 8mm movie projector running, so it's kind of funny to see that name. Hey, it's got magnets on it. You know, for all your magnetic kitchen cabinets. Okay, much like Brad Pitt, I want to see what's in the box. Oh, it's an Eldritch Nightmare. Oh, look! Another power brick! And it's even labeled Bell & Howell. How much current do we get this time? Oh, 2 amps. Oh my gosh, we are eating good. Oh, look at these micro extension cables. Whoa. You're supposed to stick magnets to the underside of your wooden cabinets? Is that what they're picking up and I'm putting down here? No, wait, that's what they're putting down and picking up. Gross, but wait. Well, okay, well, man, I mean, so there's drywall anchors too, so I guess you could put these anywhere. I mean, I guess that's cool that they give you the options. You know, that's why there's a countersink here. It's for the screw. Actually, I do have a spot where these might be useful. Let me get a shot of it. Okay, so that's there. Over here, I used to have a TV here, but I never used it, so I put in some more shelves so I can store all these Voron 3D printer parts that I haven't gotten a chance to build yet. Oh, yeah, here's my detachable. See, take your bits wherever you want. But, yeah, I was kind of worried about shadow here. I mean, yeah, there's a shadow on the wall, but I don't work on the wall, so it doesn't really affect here. But it might help to actually add lights there. I could give it a try. Oh, what is this? Oh, brother. Basically, it's saying, do not use this. You didn't have to ask me twice. Oh, I like how it's conveniently missing a screw. Is it in a little baggie? No, it wouldn't be because it's. What is this? A touch sensor? How does that work? I guess. Let's find out. I was at the as seen on TV section. I was just like, because I feel bad. Like people always bring this up in real life, not online. And it's like, there's just no interesting junk there anymore. I'm assuming the motion hand sensor is first. Why'd they give you extra of these if there's only one connection? Oh, I suppose it's, so you could daisy chain to the next one if you bought more of these. Yes. Wave. No. Ugh. It's a very yellowish light. Well, the IR sensor does work. Touch this first, then turn these on. What? Why is it dimming? I don't want you to dim. Oh, I bet you had to push this multiple times. No? If you press and hold this button, that's what makes it dim. Release. Well, I guess if I do it again, it probably flips and goes down. Yes. Yes! The fish sticks are even better raw! Do they maintain the brightness memory when they're off? Oh no, I've lost my memory. Oh, we had to restart it? It looks like they maintain the memory. That's obviously what you wanted to see on YouTube, right? Was two bright lights shining directly into the camera. Well, yeah, look at it. It's just a big diffusion plane because it's got the LEDs all on one side. Yeah. I mean, they work, but see, for $20 seems like a bigger ripoff than that shaver for $20. I don't know why. This seems like it shouldn't cost this much because there's no batteries, there's no electronics, or very little electronics. It's just a bunch of LEDs. Big whoop. Like that shaver at least felt like a product, and these two things were the same price, $20. Oh man, these things definitely have some semiconduction heat going on. Oh, what was those things? The dash buttons. This reminds me of the Amazon dash buttons. Oh, I've probably waxed poetic about this before, but sticking a ARM Cortex M4 inside of a disposable thing you stick to your freezer is such a before 2021 problem, isn't it? There's a little micro. Unbelievable. Oh, that's a Bobby Dazzler win. Wait a minute. Well, how does the motion sensor work? All it's got is power going in and out. According to the scope, this thing is just changing the voltage being sent to the lights. It's not actually PWMing it. Fun fact, white LEDs are just blue LEDs with a phosphor to take out the blue color. Yeah, that's just a clean 5 volts there. And there's got to be a secondary circuit that does this part. But it seems like the voltage never gets below 2.5, so whatever circuitry does this probably has enough voltage to run. Well, other than that, kind of an unremarkable device. I definitely like the shaver more. I wonder how much current that's actually drawing. Where's my USB current thing? It's around here someplace. Yeah, one light is just over an amp. Let's try 2. Interesting how 2 doesn't actually double it. But yeah, 1.74, and there was a 2 amp power supply, so man, that's not a lot of overhead. Bud! You look like a big tube of meat! This thing has been laying in my garage for years. I think I pulled it out of some piece of Goodwill junk. It's just one of those portable boost converter cell phone charger things. Maybe I could use it with this. Yeah, I just removed the USB-A plug. Let's see if it's actually charging the battery. Oh, it's pretty dead, but it looks like it is working. Bud. I think Bud got used to my new work from home schedule, where I work in my new work from home area. And now that it's morning and I'm not in that area, he's probably confused again. I know there's like that meme of like, my cat is really a dog, but oh man, for Bud, it's so true. It's like, could I get a firmware update and just get a aloof cat who doesn't, well, I mean, he's an orange cat, so yeah, he's going to be needy. An annoying, needy ginger. Ah, he'll fit right in with you, Ben. Ha ha ha. Oh man, this guy gets warm. You know, it's just that guy right there. That's the charge controller. You know, I do have another crappy projector up on the shelf there. It was at my uncle's condo and I had to clean it up after he died. After he died, researching spiders in the Amazon. Yeah, maybe I could crack that open for this episode as well. So, if anyone's wondering what I've been doing, I started another pinball programming project in February or late March, May? No. I think it was like the end of February, beginning of March, I started a new one. So it's another licensed theme for Spooky. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about it on this channel. Obviously I can't yet because it hasn't been announced, but yeah, I pretty much do that full time now. The single-headed controller stuff, I don't know if it's the economy or what, but like that just fell off a cliff. Like, except for a brief blip or a rush around tax return time. Yeah, since like last fall, that's gone way down. Which in a way is okay because it means I can just spend all my time programming. But it's also kind of like weird. Like 2020, 2021, those years, oh man, I sold a ton. Those are like the best years ever for that. Well, for that. Not the best years ever for other reasons. So a lot of times I don't really want to do programming projects because I do it all day. Although I am trying to finally finish my Nintendo game. Remember the Nintendo Game & Watch when that came out? Like, what was that? Over 3 years ago? Of course, I immediately bought one. And I started programming a... well, I wasn't interested in emulation. I thought I started programming like a LCD segment accurate port of Tapper. I was like, oh, this would be conducive to an LCD game, you know, because everything on the screen is static and the characters just move around it. I actually got pretty far, but then I just stopped working on it probably around like January of 2021. I am not remotely as good as I used to be about finishing projects. I think programming full-time has actually made me lazier. Because in the past it would be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this thing for my show. I'm going to build this week, and then I'm going to build this. Or, oh, I'm going to build some accessibility controllers for individuals, and then I'll build some test equipment for a game studio. And it was just more diverse. Now it's just like, type. That's all I do. I just type. Well, and play test pinball, but well, and also actually I've been doing all the animations and stuff. So after I get the art from the artist, animations and video work and a bunch of Adobe programs. I actually like editing footage, but I never did it when we did this show. I mean, well, I did it for like the first. I don't even know how long that was. It wasn't a long time. I mean, I think it was only like 12 or 13 episodes before Allison came on. So I definitely want to make an effort to get some of these unfinished projects finished. Like that Game & Watch game. The Atari Kitten, which is a portableized version of the Lynx, because let's face it, the Lynx is huge. Of course, the Nintendo Switch is huge, and people don't seem to care about that. But yeah, so there is definitely stuff I want to do. I just have to get it done. No, that's isolated. I think doing more diverse things in the past actually was better for me overall. You know how many beauty contests I want to win with this thing? 0. I'm going to save that for the new Atari Portable I'm working on. Yep, I need to become like a frazzled old Jedi and be like, It's time for hacks to end. And then, you know, I'll subvert all the expectations. Then at the end, I'll show up for one final hack, but then I'll die for no reason. The algorithm would hate it. I guess I don't care about that. I actually started one, actually, a Why the Last Jedi Sucks video. Hey, you know, if you want one, let me know. I think I actually got like 10 or 15 minutes into editing it. I got to the part where I was explaining how obstacle characters work, and that's why the Admiral Holdo character sucked. Because she was written like an obstacle character, but she didn't do the things that obstacle characters are supposed to do. In your brain, you expected one thing, but then they did another. And I know that's like subverting expectations, but that's why it sucks. Storytelling is meant to fit a pattern. It's always the same story, always the same. Oh man, this is so trashy. Well, here, let's compare Admiral Holdo to Gorman from the movie Aliens. So in the movie Aliens, we know that the aliens are real. We know that they're a threat because we've experienced them in the first movie with Ripley. So then you have an obstacle character. The purpose of an obstacle character, they're not the villain, but they're a character that gets in the way of the hero. In this case, Ripley. And it's like, oh no, Ripley, we know how to deal with any military threat. You don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Go sit down. And then you see, oh, Gorman is, you know, your typical, like, scared, you know, he's the cliche of, like, the scared soldier, like, or the scared leader, like, oh, and, you know, push comes to shove, he freezes up. And then Ripley has to grab the controls of the car thing, and then she drives into the alien nest, and then Gorman's like, Ripley! And then what's-his-face is like, you had your shot, Gorman. Even though, of course, he's a villain, too. But then, anyway, so Gorman's an obstacle character. So then in the end, the obstacle character is they either have to be, they have to get their comeuppance, or they have to be redeemed. And see, they kind of try to do that with Last Jedi, where she does, like, that suicidal light speed thing that completely breaks the lore of Star Wars. But the thing is, it doesn't really work because it's like, oh, our plan all along was to slowly fly away from the enemy. So it's like she wasn't really wrong. So then, but the thing is, we've seen Poe Dameron was in the first movie, so we're going to side with him over this new character, because when you introduce a new character and you have that new character question something that the existing characters are doing, 100 years of movie muscle memory tells us that, oh, this person is either a spy, or they're a heel, or they're like, you know, the incompetent leader. And then when you don't do that, that's why it sucks, because people aren't expecting it. And it's not, and people want, it's the same reason why a movie trailer, the effective ones, give away the entire plot. People want what's expected. So in Aliens, Gorman, he doesn't have a comeuppance, he has a redemption. He blows himself up along with Vasquez, so Ripley and Newt can escape. You know, you were always an a-hole, Gorman. And that's his redemption. So he was wrong. He admits he's wrong. And then he gets, you know, it's not really a comeuppance. It's like a heroic death. But it's like, it was earned. I drew up an enclosure for this thing, because why not? Add some magnets to help it stick to things. Let's see. Battery negative. Yeah, I thought of a potential issue with this. This cell phone charger probably only gives about 1 amp, and this is 1.7, so it might be kind of on the edge of 17 of working. Well, there it does. Battery's at 3.9 volts. I guess we can just charge it up and see how long it'll last. Here. And this gets crammed down here very professionally. Yes, it's going to be professionally crammed into place. That is how it works. Do 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 do. Hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. We love hot glue. Hot glue. I realize this font inadvertently looks exactly like the Bud Light font. So I guess the Bud Light font is just like Arial bold italic. Wow, super useful. Let's look at one more thing. The mini projector I found at my uncle's condo after he passed. This one actually has a little weight to it. Entertainment projector. Has this even been opened? Wow, it's got a remote and everything. Composite video. Very cool. It's got the Blu-ray colors on the remote. And an HDMI cable, it looks like. And a 3 amp 12 volt power supply. Analog in, USB SD card. Upside down HDMI port. Oh good, it has an all sealed design. I was hoping for that. But that's not all. There's even a VGA port on the side. Who needs this 8mm crap? Let's try it out. Oh, it's got a pretty wide throw for a short distance. It's probably only about 10, 11 feet. Resolution doesn't look so great. Okay, this is a Raspberry Pi 400 running on it. Said 720p. Oh man, I have a hard time believing it's even that. These pixels are pretty chunky. Yeah, look at that tree in the background. Doesn't look so hot.
And FM radio reception and USB multimedia playback.
It's got a speaker, that's cute.
It's a jack of all trades. I'd imagine it's going to be a master of none. It's by some no-name company. 24.
The black levels are pretty decent.
So I suspect this is just one of these.
And by black levels, I mean lack of light levels because it's a projector, not an OLED. Oh, it does actually have a 16:9 mode, so that puts it ahead of some other cheap projectors I've looked at. And I don't know what Dan paid for this, but I can't imagine it was more than like $80. The overscan isn't very good though. Let's see if the fan continues after I turn off the power. It does not. Let's take a look inside the projector. Looks like all the other projectors. What holds that in? Probably love and faith. A little bit more than love and faith. Let's see, LCD connector here. Disconnect that. So it's hardwired to the LED lamp. The light emitting diode lamp. Oh, here's our wimpy speaker. Yeah, it looks pretty much like all the other projectors we took apart. All of these cheap projectors are all the same. It's just a big light shining through an LCD screen. So you're gonna have the dust blob, anti-dust blob. Well, it's got some dust glue at the bottom of it. It's like a fly trap for dust. Here's your screen. It's not truly widescreen, is it? It's more like a Sony PlayStation Portable. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's that same resolution. But yeah, they just got a big, pretty nice heatsink. Look at that, that's a pretty big heatsink for that LED, so that's cool. And yeah, and they got the blower blowing right onto it, which is good. So it takes in air here. Oh yeah, I guess that blows past the screen too, because you don't want the screen to get hot. That's pretty much all there is to it. Just a big lamp, screen, Fresnel, mirror, and then your lens. Menards. I think Menards still does sell projectors in their electronics section. They just don't have like the big Clive death boom boxes anymore. But they will sell stuff like this, or you know, like a Bluetooth sound bar and stuff like that. So it's not like, oh, they've got a heat fuse there. That's good. So yeah, it's not like they don't sell electronics. They just don't sell like the super cheap crap anymore. Now they just sell the sort of cheap crap. Well, there you go. A few things I was able to find at Menards. I'm not actually sure how long this lamp is going to last. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll make another one someday. I mean, I don't control what Menards has in stock. We'll see you in the next video. Also, here's a cat. Cat Benny. Ah! And just in case Quentin Tarantino was watching,